Across England, stone cathedrals, castles and churches rise as monuments to medieval craftsmanship. Their endurance owes much to lime mortar, a remarkable, flexible material. Unlike modern cement, lime mortar cures slowly, drawing in carbon dioxide from the air. Its breathability lets walls absorb and release moisture, preventing dampness and allowing buildings to settle without cracking. Medieval masons understood this, building structures that became part of the landscape and endured for centuries. England's stone heritage stands strong thanks to the quiet genius of lime mortar. Lime mortar's success in England is inseparable from the country's mild, damp climate. The gentle humidity allowed mortar to cure slowly and properly, gaining strength over years. Unlike harsher climates, England's winters rarely freeze the ground deeply, sparing walls from frost damage. This meant building could continue most of the year, with no long shutdowns for winter. The absence of extreme cold protected the mortar from destructive freeze-thaw cycles. Masons worked with the rhythm of the seasons, not against them. The climate nurtured their creations, allowing castles and cathedrals to gain lasting strength. England's unique partnership of material, skill and climate is the foundation of its enduring stone legacy. The damp air and mild winters were allies, not enemies, to medieval builders. This climatic harmony allowed English masonry to flourish for centuries. England's cathedrals, Durham, Lincoln, Salisbury, Canterbury, are triumphs of medieval masonry. These buildings have survived centuries of storms and change, thanks to their ingenious construction. Salisbury's soaring spire stands on shallow foundations. Its stone and lime mortar flex and move together. Canterbury has changed over 1,000 years, yet its core endures through flexible, breathable construction. Builders matched local stone and lime to their environment with practical genius. These cathedrals are living embodiments of place and knowledge. Designed to last, they have, enduring giants of stone and lime. Travel east to medieval Rus, and the story of stone is one of struggle, not endurance. Inspired by Byzantium, Russian princes tried to build grand stone churches with lime mortar. But the Russian climate, long, brutal winters and deep freezes, was hostile to this technique. Lime mortar needs warmth to cure. In Russia, it sat uncured and weak for months. The short building season was a frantic race against winter. Imported techniques from milder climates simply couldn't cope with Russia's extremes. The result: magnificent stone churches doomed from the start, fighting a losing battle against the cold. The mortar never gained strength, and the buildings were structurally compromised. The Russian winter was an unstoppable force, defeating even the most skilled builders. These early stone churches became ruins, victims of a climate they could not master. The lesson-building methods must fit their environment, or nature will prevail. In Russia, the cold was the ultimate adversary. Russia's true enemy was not just cold, but the relentless freeze-thaw cycle. Lime mortar's porosity, a benefit in England, became a fatal flaw in Russia. Moisture in the mortar froze, expanded, and shattered the bonds holding stone together. Each spring thaw let water seep deeper into cracks, only to freeze again the next winter. This cycle repeated year after year, slowly destroying the walls from within. Mortar crumbled, stones shifted, and buildings lost their integrity. The freeze-thaw process was a relentless, natural jackhammer. Early Russian stone churches, built with hope, simply fell apart. Archaeologists find only ruins, evidence of a climatic mismatch, not a lack of skill. The builders were defeated by physics, not ambition. In Russia, the laws of nature dictated what could endure, the lesson. Even the best techniques fail if they ignore the realities of place. Another challenge for Russian builders was the land itself. Unlike England, Russia lacked abundant, high-quality building stone. The vast plains offered mostly sand, clay, and gravel, poor materials for grand stone structures. Good stone had to be transported over great distances, making stone building costly and rare. Only the wealthiest cities could afford such projects. For most, stone was out of reach. But Russia had something else in abundance: wood. Endless forests provided a practical, accessible building material. Timber was easy to fell, transport, and work with simple tools. The forest shaped Russian architecture, making wood the natural choice. While England built in stone, Russia became a land of timber. Geography set these two traditions on different paths from the start. Russian builders turned to the forest, creating an architecture of remarkable ingenuity. The classic izba, built from interlocking logs, was a marvel of engineering, flexible, strong, and perfectly suited to the shifting, frozen ground. These log structures could move and settle without breaking, adapting to the harsh climate. Wood was also a superb insulator, keeping homes warm through brutal winters. Moss or hemp, packed into joints, made them even more efficient. Survival depended on these warm, resilient shelters. This tradition reached its peak in the wooden churches of northern Russia, built without a single nail. These masterpieces show the complete mastery of wooden adaptation to place. Russian architecture's soul is timber, not stone, a testament to deep knowledge of material and environment. The forest, not the quarry, defined Russia's architectural legacy. Just as Russian stone building was beginning, disaster struck: the Mongol invasion. Cities were destroyed, populations decimated, and the fragile tradition of stone construction was lost. Master builders and their knowledge vanished, supply chains collapsed, and patrons disappeared. The skills imported from Byzantium were extinguished in a generation. When Russia emerged from Mongol rule, survival and practicality took precedence. Timber construction, never lost, became the dominant tradition. Later, stone returned with new techniques from abroad, but the original knowledge was gone. The Mongol invasion shows how easily traditions can be broken. In England, masonry knowledge passed unbroken for centuries. In Russia, it was violently snapped. The architecture of the forest reasserted itself, resilient, practical, and rooted in place. What endures is not always the most ambitious, but what fits the realities of land and history. Russia's true architectural legacy is one of survival and adaptation.